This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5. Coverage you can count on.
On Eyewitness News at 5, a local mayor now under scrutiny for his use of city money.
You violate a city policy. What does that say?
We're looking into his trip to the nation's capital on the taxpayer's dime and how commissioners are now taking a stand.
Right now, Deltona's mayor is facing more criticism after he made a trip to attend President Trump's inauguration with the use of taxpayer dollars. Good evening, I'm Greg Warmoth.
And I'm Darlene Jones. City commissioners say Mayor Santiago Avila violated the city's travel policy and they want the money back. Channel 9 Volusia County reporter Demi Johnson joins us live from Deltona. And Demi, you have some breaking news. You just heard from the mayor finally after trying all day.
Yeah, Darlene, he says he's being falsely attacked and that he was actually at the U.S. Conference of Mayors in D.C. that was happening at the same time as the presidential inauguration. And the meeting where the vote of no confidence will be discussed is on February 17th. The mayor also told me today that he plans to talk to us on camera about all of this tomorrow. So we'll continue following this and let you guys know what happens next. Live in Deltona, Demi Johnson, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
New at 5, Florida's election supervisors want to change the rules around a state law requiring you to request a vote by mail ballot. Lawmakers say the law has created some confusion across the state among voters. Channel 9's Nick Papantonis is monitoring this story in Lake County, where the supervisor there, Nick, shared details on the specific changes they're looking for.
Yeah, so what they want to do is add a checkbox to the outside of a ballot's envelope right around where you sign it here. And that's in order to make sure that voters that want to have mail-in ballots can automatically renew. There's actually a special election going on right now, and the supervisor here told us turnout plummeted because of the changes lawmakers have made. That was one of several changes talked about in a very short amount of time. Voters across Central Florida might be interested in what else was talked about. The petition process to put things like abortion and marijuana on the ballot. That might be due for some changes this year. We'll be talking about what those changes could be at 6 o'clock. Live in Tavares, Nick Papantonis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Nick, thank you. Turned out to be another beautiful day, as you could even see in that live report in Central Florida. I'm joined by Tom Terry. He, again, we've sped up this video.
Yeah.
You know,
we're going
not
that fast.
seeing things, but it was foggy this morning.
Yeah, you can really see it coming down just right at the street lights. I've actually been in fog so thick before that it kind of looks like a ceiling. That it actually was just cleared about 10 feet off the ground. But that was earlier today. We watched it roll in live. It obscured the SpaceX launch, but things are a little bit different for tonight. Let me show you kind of what I'm looking at. Here is our sunshine, Greg, that came out today, right on schedule. 82 in Metro Orlando, down from 84 earlier today. And our live humidity, one of the things that I've noticed that's different, instead of being at 85, 95% humidity and fog's rolling in, we've kind of backed it off a little bit. Plus the low-level winds just above our heads, kind of at the top of the building level in downtown, a little bit stronger today, which means the atmosphere doesn't quite have the right ingredients to get really dense fog developing throughout the area. But we'll still have some patchy fog along the coast. Here's 2 o'clock in the morning, our great tool early warning future track. You see the low clouds, and I'm concerned about fog here, especially to the west. And then again for Friday morning. I think Friday morning and Saturday morning, if you have travel plans out of Central Florida, we're going to be dealing with more of this fog. But I don't have a lot of rain, Darlene, to talk about. I do, however, if you like it hot, warmer, I've got you covered there. Much more, including a longer range look at how long this spring weather will stick around coming up.
Tom, in that case, you're talking to Greg here. He's the one asking for hot weather.
I love it hot.
All right. Well, we just learned in just the last few hours, the suspect in this woman's death now faces a murder charge of first degree. It comes after 85-year-old Lucy Pat Curl passed away this morning. Her family says she was taken off life support. Orlando police say Ronald Davis posed as a community service officer, forced his way into her home and hit her in the head repeatedly. Davis had served 15 years in prison for a robbery in which he held a woman against her will. Lucy Pat Curl's family is asking for privacy at this time, but a celebration of life is planned for February 16th at First Baptist Church of Orlando.
In Orange County, Orlando police released new surveillance video that they hope will catch the driver in a hit-and-run crash. Now, that happened Monday night on South Kirkman Road and Raleigh Street, and We have video of an SUV hitting a man right there on a bicycle. The driver then had to know he hit him and just kept on going. The victim was not killed but seriously hurt. Officers are saying that the vehicle should have visible damage to the front bumper. And again, caught on camera. If you know who that is, call police right away. Sanford police arrested a woman accused of shooting a man to death during an altercation last Friday. Sarah Elizabeth Jamison faced a judge this afternoon. Police say she is now facing a charge of second-degree murder. Jamison is accused of fatally shooting Brandon Michael Sullivan in an apartment complex along Wyndham Crest Boulevard. Today, friends and family showed up in court, and they told us that they are incredibly sad about this news.
He was the sweetest, most goofiest, silliest, happiest person, and he loved his kids more than anything in this world, and he would have done anything for them, and he didn't deserve this.
Investigators determined that the two were in a domestic relationship. Jamison seen here being held in jail with no bond. And coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, Channel 9's Daryl Matthews will walk us through more of what the family had to say in those emotional interviews.
Greg, in Flagler County, 5 people were arrested in Palm Coast in a drug bust. Deputies raided a home on Wood Hollow yesterday morning. They say they found fentanyl, marijuana, and other drugs inside. The group you see here was arrested on drug charges. Another man was arrested for obstruction.
Today, a federal judge ruled against President Donald Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship.
Reporter Rena Roy explains the dispute over the 14th Amendment, which grants citizenship to children born here in the U.S.
Now, the issue will likely make it to the U.S. Supreme Court. Then the judges will decide whether or not to take up the case.
About 1,000 Mexican National Guard soldiers are now stationed at the border near Texas. This is part of that agreement with the U.S. in order to delay President Donald Trump's tariffs for a month. Mexico's president pledged to eventually send 10,000 troops to the area. The officers will help combat drug trafficking and control migration.
A construction project 20 years in the making, still not finished. Coming up, the new changes at the center of the two-county clash. Mel?
And planning for the future, how the world's second busiest cruise port is preparing to meet the demand.
Well, you may want to stick around close to Central Florida with this kind of weather pattern. I'm updating how long the spring-like pattern will stay in place. That's coming up.
Central Florida's chief meteorologist, Tom Terry.
People have really trusted me for nearly 3 decades, and that's something I take personally.
Tracking storms for 28 years.
I've seen just about everything you can see here weather-wise, so no matter what the weather brings, I vow to get it right.
With a proven legacy built on trust.
It's my job to give you the most accurate details and keep you safe.
Central Florida's chief meteorologist, Tom Terry, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
We're following breaking news in Orange County right now. A teacher has been arrested on federal charges accused of having sexual conversations online with 2 children. The district confirmed Italo Brad Bonini works at Hunters Creek Middle School. The federal complaint we just received within the last 30 minutes, we're still going through, but so far we've been able to see that it details these sexually related video chats he allegedly had with 2 young boys in Maryland. The FBI arrested him yesterday at home, and they say he admitted to the allegations. The district says they have notified families of students at that school, Hunters Creek Middle School, and Bonini is now on administrative leave.
Covering Brevard County tonight, cruise demand could carry Port Canaveral into its best financial quarter ever.
And right now, port leaders are looking for ways to meet future demand. Channel 9's Brevard County reporter Melanie Holt is live there at Port Canaveral. And Mel, this could mean upgrading a terminal or 2.
Until that happens, Darlene, port officials and major cruise lines are getting creative with scheduling just to accommodate more passengers. And right now, there are already fewer days without a cruise ship here at the port. Looking ahead to 2027, port officials tell me there will be just 15 days where there isn't a cruise ship out here at the port. Live here at Port Canaveral, Melanie Holtz, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Boy, thank you, Mel. That's a beautiful shot. Will we see the fog roll in? Because that's where it rolled in from yesterday.
Like it was last night. Yeah, it's been just kind of hovering along the coast. The winds are a little bit different. It doesn't take much here to kind of tweak the weather dials, as I like to say, and you get one completely different outlook. We're going to get some patchy fog, but not the crazy stuff we had the last couple of nights.
Yeah, you couldn't see. It was bad.
We could actually watch it roll in right before the SpaceX launch. There's a live view on the kind of south side of Lake Eola. Right in the field of view, I had a people-powered swan and a real swan. And the real swan was about as big as the people-powered swan. But they moved out of position. That's what I get for live TV. 82 right now with a south wind and beautiful weather. So early spring. This is not that unusual, though. We've had this almost every year since 2020. I went back and looked at all the numbers. It's been warm. Today, 84. Day number 4 in a row in the 80s. So it's been a warm February coming off of a relatively cool January. We're 10 degrees above average. And through next week, we may change this around in about, 10 days, roughly, maybe. But in the meantime, it's going to feel more like mid-April instead of early February. And this weekend, you can't beat it. Sunny and mid-80s. Just one example. Here's Kissimmee St. Cloud, 84, and then whoop, all the way up here, 86. For Super Bowl Sunday. And again, it's not just Central Florida, all the state. High pressure is blocked in. The cold fronts are farther to the north. And really until we can get those cold fronts reestablished down here, which is harder to do as we get into February and especially into March, that's when our temperatures are going to stay on the warmer side. Now, we mentioned the fog, not as widespread tonight, but I still expect some patchy coastal fog a little bit over the interior. Not as much as the last couple of days. We showed you that video, Greg and I, with that crazy time lapse. We're going 120 miles an hour on I-4 in the fog, but that was a time lapse. Right now you can see this is going to be Friday morning. So this is something else we're going to be watching as we head closer to the start of the weekend. If you do have travel plans early Friday and early Saturday, I think fog will be a bit more widespread. But we're going to enjoy things the way they are for now. Metro Orlando, we're going to get back into the low to mid-80s tomorrow. 84 degrees. No rain. So there we go. 7-day forecast. The weekend always in view. There's our pause in the park icon that's going to be at 10 a.m. on Saturday at Lake Eola as we benefit the Pet Alliance. I'll be out there to say hello to you. A lot of furry friends walking around. Mid-80s until perhaps the end of next week. Greg, it's certainly feeling like spring.
Sure is. I don't see any 40s on there. So I'm happy.
For a while.
I'm happy. Man.
All right, a new medical discovery in Brevard County has scientists studying alligators along the Indian River Lagoon. This is such an interesting story. Coming up, what they hope these gators and their biology will tell us about improving and extending our own lives.
Plus, all new at 6, the punishment a Seminole County judge received just today, what he said in court that got him temporarily removed from the bench.
And next, the severe winter weather expected to impact millions of people across the country, what they're going to experience while we bask in the 80s.
Sky Witness 9 on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, bringing you closer to the scene during live breaking news. Sponsored by Attorney Dan Newland. Today's weekday payday word of the day is asset. Enter at WFTV.com for your chance to win $1,000.
Millions of people across the country are under winter weather alerts. Meantime,
right, beautiful sunshine here. Record rain, though, has fallen in Northern California, and now it's headed south. Tom, that extreme weather is triggering severe flood watches.
Yeah, I just mentioned some of the heavier rainfall is going to be moving into the southeast, Arlene, and some areas, this is in California, could see some landslide or mudslides, including some recently devastated by wildfires. This as California's Governor Gavin Newsom heads to Washington to meet up with President Trump, seeking federal funds to help with wildfire recovery. Reporter Melissa Don explains more on the severe weather taking shape across the country. Yeah, incredible. Now, there's also a storm system moving into the Midwest. Yes, sleet, freezing rain and snow. We've seen that in Florida in the last couple of weeks. That same system will then move to the northeast in the I-95 corridor as we head through tomorrow morning, putting at least 22 states from my home state of Oklahoma to Vermont under ice and snow alerts. Florida not included. Greg?
Nope. Just got a text from my son in Seattle with snow in the backyard. All right. Meantime, hey, we're open for business. Come on down. Well, the Great American Race just around the corner. Coming up, we spoke with the president of the Daytona International Speedway. He was right here in the studio with us on what we can expect from this year's sold-out Daytona 500.
Plus, as you can tell, construction is officially underway along this problem road that connects Lake to Orange County. I'm Giovanni Diaz reporting from Claremont. Coming up, why residents say this might not address their concerns and how the counties are responding.
This Tower Cam shot, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5:30. Coverage you can count on.
On Eyewitness News at 5:30, a construction project 20 years in the making remains unfinished.
I just want it to be done. Like, let us know what's happening.
Yes. Yeah.
Tonight, the new changes at the center of a two-county clash.
This here is a shortcut nightmare, and it continues for people who live in Claremont. Good evening. I'm Darlene Jones.
And I'm Greg Wormuth. Last year, residents contacted Channel 9 to find out who was responsible for this road near the Orange-Lake County line. And Channel 9's Giovanni Diaz is live in Orange County now. He first brought us this story, and he's back with an update. And Gio, today you timed out how long it takes to go from when we last saw you in Claremont to just over to the county line where you are now.
Hey, Greg, yeah, and it took us more than 25 minutes to get from where we were in Claremont all the way to where we are here in Orange County. This is as close as we could get because take a look, Orange County has put up these barricades here that prevent us from getting any further. The last time that we were here, just a little less than a year ago, we were able to actually cross this whole trajectory here in just about 2 minutes less than that. But now take a look at your screen right now. This is a live picture from Drone 9 flying above here where we are. Lake County is actually leading this project here, but once this project is done, it will be up to Orange County to decide when or even if this road will ever be fully opened. All right, so now the $1 million question, right? When is this thing going to be done? Well, I asked that question to Orange County earlier today. They were not able to actually give me a timeline for that, but they did tell me that they're currently working on the design phase of this project, and I can assure you I will stay on top of that. Reporting live in Orange County, I'm Giovanni Diaz, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Gio, thank you. And that was a well-told story.
It was, to get an idea.
2 minutes or 5 minutes to 26. I can understand the frustration.
Big difference.
Yeah, well, in Orange County, construction soon starts on a new ER.
Today, Advent Health broke ground here on the 13,000 square foot building that will have a full-service lab and pharmacy.
Right now, our population is growing in Central Florida. The ERs are getting busier and busier. This will enable our community here not to have to drive miles to get to an ER.
And this brand new emergency room will offer emergency services to Meadowwoods, Hunters Creek, and other surrounding communities currently underserved. It is expected to be open at the end of this year.
Covering Brevard County, you may be able to save money on your water bill if you start a garden. Titusville now offering $5 credits for every 4 bags of plain pine barrel mulch purchased next month. The most each household can earn is $15 for 12 bags, because if you're like me, you're thinking, how much of this mulch can I get home? Yeah. You can learn more about this offer in the web link section of WFTV.com.
The United Nations is warning of ethnic cleansing after President Trump announced his plan to develop Gaza. Trump says he wants to develop the land and permanently remove the nearly 2 million Palestinians who lived there. Reporter Perry Russum tells us what this is all about. And World News Tonight with David Muir. We'll have more on President Trump's plan to take over Gaza. It starts at 6:30 right here on Channel 9.
Greg, we have new details tonight on the flying routines at Reagan National Airport that may have led to that tragedy. Mid-air collision last week. Pilots and air traffic controllers have notified authorities of planes and helicopters flying dangerously close to each other over the last 3 decades. Many pilots have called it unsafe traveling so close to those helicopters as they do there at Reagan.
Step one for the FAA is to move these helicopter routes away from DCA so that there is always a margin of safety and we don't have to rely on see and avoid that led to the tragedy with American.
Some pilots have called Reagan Airport the most dangerous in America and have asked for practices at Reagan to be changed. We are now just 11 days away from the 67th running of the Daytona 500.
And to preview Speed Weeks and the Great American Race, we had the president here at the WFTV studios. No, not that president. The president of the
I was
Speedway.
like, wait, what?
Yeah, we're heavy hitters here. Channel 9 sports anchor Alex Walker in studio with more on his talk.
Hey, Greg and Darlene, we had a very timely guest this afternoon. I had a great conversation with Frank Kelleher, the president of Daytona International Speedway. Frank and his team are gearing up for an action-packed week at the World Center of Racing. I'll be at the track starting Wednesday. You can hear my entire conversation with Frank Kelleher Sunday at 11:35 on Sports Night on 9. Sunday is anybody's race. We saw 18 different winners on the Cup Series last year and 3 of the closest finishes in NASCAR history. Greg and Darlene, back to you.
And usually a giant crash or two as well.
Yeah.
That's
or 3
crazy.
or 4.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Super Bowl Sunday is 4 days away. My kids are very excited.
Yes.
Yeah, they are Chiefs fans and Eagles fans. The officials, though, from the city of New York or New Orleans are taking every precaution to make sure visitors and everyone there stays safe.
Yeah, and they've done that with some pretty neat technology that is seen here. This is steel wedges, and these barriers were installed in the French Quarter ahead of the big game. And this comes after that terrorist drove a truck down a sidewalk, then onto Bourbon Street, killing 14 people. Officials say that they recognize the importance of being prepared and as proactive as possible.
Preparation is key. The proposed merger between Nissan and Honda could be in the breakdown lane. Several reports say Nissan, the smaller of the two companies, is preparing to call off the talks. The deal could be worth $60 billion if it goes through. It will create the world's 3rd largest car company, but both companies say nothing is finalized.
What you're seeing now is a brand new image from NASA's Hubble Space Telescope. It shows a new galaxy nicknamed the Bullseye. And there's a good reason. It has a star-filled ring and rings as a result of a blue dwarf galaxy traveling through it. Thanks to the Hubble Space Telescope, scientists believe that it actually has 9 rings. The galaxy's real name is Gargantuan Galaxy Leda 1313424. Doesn't have a great ring to it, but there are 9 rings to it.
You are on a roll today.
Too much sugar.
That ice cream. Well, coming up next, a new medical discovery in Brevard County.
Scientists are studying alligators living here along the Indian River Lagoon. What they hope gator biology tells us about improving human health.
Well, here's a nice serene shot. I found it again. One of our people-powered swans taking a break here in Lake Eola. I'm updating the weather for the upcoming pause in the park, which we're going to be talking about for Saturday, and also how long this spring weather lasts.
Eyewitness News live stream, sponsored by Advent Health.
Whatever makes you feel whole, chase it. Advent Health. Feel whole.
These creatures crawling through local rivers could be on the front lines of a medical breakthrough.
Is the hope here or the goal here one day to find a cure for cancer?
Yeah, that's the hope.
Right now, how a search for a cure is connected to Central Florida alligator blood. I have been looking forward to this story ever since I heard we were doing it. Most people would rather avoid, of course, the alligators that are living amongst us, many of them in the Indian River Lagoon. But there's a group of scientists that want to take a closer look at these predators, specifically drawing their blood.
Yeah, who knew we would be looking at alligators in this way? The reptiles are known for their remarkably strong immune system. Channel 9's Melanie Holt reports these alligators may actually have a key to helping us heal. All right. Alligator Rob and the University of Louisville have just started their second gator research season along the Indian River Lagoon. They'll be very carefully collecting more samples through the end of July. And I know Tom is thrilled about
Tom was
that.
over here. I need to fan him off.
Yeah, I know.
Some reason,
okay?
when I see syringes, needles, my feet start tingling. So I'm
You're
over
not
here
the only
like,
one. A lot of people are like that, so don't feel bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you lightheaded, Tom? Can you continue?
When I
Do you
turn
need
50.
blood?
My feet started tingling. Here's what's going on.
Sorry.
Right now. I can't wait till I turn 60. I got that coming. I'm coming for you, Greg.
That's
right now,
maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard.
We've got the people-powered swans all pedaling around Lake Yola. Beautiful day. We made it up to 84 today. 82 in downtown Orlando. Feeling like spring. 10 degrees above average. This weekend, just a little bit warmer. We gain about an extra minute or so of daylight each day. So we're going to just kind of keep warming things up gradually here. Plus, the overall pattern, which will take us at least through the end of next week. Maybe beyond. We may get some fronts, though, to kind of break this down a bit. But generally, fewer cold fronts, warmer, drier. High pressure in our backyard. That means we also have the risk of some early morning fog. Now, this was the visible satellite from early today. We only get this when the sun's up, so we just kind of showed a couple areas down south, but we're not seeing the same setup for fog tonight as we had yesterday when we were already socked in along the Space Coast this time yesterday. But watching for some patchy fog throughout central Florida and mainly over here along the Gulf Coast. And look how much more widespread the fog will be, especially west near the Gulf Coast and 75. So keep an eye on that if you're going to be traveling early in the morning up toward, say, the Tallahassee area or Gainesville. New Smyrna, beautiful day tomorrow. We're back in the low 80s, 82. 84. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow, Friday, and also Saturday for Paws in the Park as we benefit the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando. 9family.com for event information, but we'll be there in the morning setting up in areas of fog early. A very warm afternoon, and you can see the fog showing up here, the low clouds, the early warning feature track, our European model, keeping things pretty dry. Here's Sunday, here's Monday, maybe a quick shower. I don't think much here, but the rain is going to be heavy up here to the north. In fact, they already have flood watches in anticipation of some locally heavy rain. We may get clipped with this, but not till the end of next week. Here is your 7-day forecast. The weekend always in view. We're going to keep it right there around 83 to 84. There's our Paws in the Park icon for Saturday morning, and mid-80s and holding starting Sunday. We'll be right back.
Tonight at 6.
He didn't deserve this.
A Seminole County woman told police she shot and killed her boyfriend in self-defense. Tonight at 6, the evidence police say they have that proves she was lying. Plus,
there will be no second chances if this ever happens again.
A Seminole County judge faced a judge himself today. All new at 6, what he did and said that got him in trouble with the Florida Supreme Court and temporarily removed from the bench.
COVID relief payments were meant to help those struggling to survive, but others sought to profit off the pandemic.
The amount of fraud that was perpetrated is staggering.
9 investigates Darlene Jones exposes COVID fraud in Central Florida, how billions of your tax dollars were stolen to fund lavish lifestyles and even violent crime.
There were businesses and people who desperately needed this money.
The efforts being made to catch these criminals.
It's really about holding people accountable.
Live Thursday at 5 p.m. on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
This primetime lineup is brought to you by Lexus of Orlando.
All right, welcome back. Here's Mary Narducci now with tonight's local steals and deals. We have some breaking news in the last hour. A standoff currently underway at a Claremont apartment complex. You can see it here on the map, and police fear a woman may have been killed this afternoon there. Officers responded to the Cottonwood Apartments. This is near Oakley Seaver Drive, where they found a woman with a gunshot wound, and that's when they say the suspect began opening fire on the officers before barricading himself inside one of those apartments. So far, they have not been able to communicate with that person. They believe the victim has died from her gunshot injuries. They do not have information yet on their identities, and we have 2 crews heading to that scene right now. Stay with us for a live update in just a few moments on Eyewitness News at 6.